Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, May 21st, 2022. I am Timothy Jaikran. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines, Guyana's Shade House initiative hailed by visiting CARICOM leaders. Food security in Caribbean requires heavy political lifting from the top, says Vice President JAGDEO. Regional, local companies looking to tap into opportunities from AGRI Investment Expo. US $190 million contract signed for construction of LINDEN-to-MABURA Road, and Port KAITUMA woman arrested after stabbing husband to death. Now for the news in detail. The government of Guyana's Shade House initiative, which has so far resulted in 54 facilities being constructed at Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, has been lauded by several regional leaders, including Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Keith Rowley, as impressive. Gerald Bryan has our lead story tonight.
The Shade House project was on Friday toured by President Dr. Irfan Ali, Trinidadian Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, Dominica Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt, and Antiguan Prime Minister Gaston Brown. 60% of the youths working on the project are female, and Rowley in his remarks praised the whole concept.
I am so impressed in seeing so many young people who would have turned their attention or allow their attention to be turned to agriculture. You know, our history is one where agriculture was forced upon some people, either slavery or indentureship, and then at a later stage that changed to some kind of freedom. And our parents and grandparents would have done agriculture because it might have been the only option for them to continue, but somewhere deep in our culture is an aversion to doing agriculture because agriculture was drudgery and at the base of opportunities. That was then. Things have changed. Agriculture now is exciting. Look at this. And the technology that you put in there.
Rowley also urged them to work together and not let strife divide them, since many were looking to them and the example they set. Meanwhile, Skerritt also commended the initiative and noted the importance of agriculture to the region. He pointed to the health implications and the impact of communicable and non-communicable diseases, CNCDs.
Most of what we import, if not all of what we import, we can produce it within CARICOM. You know, and this is what we're here to do, to discuss as CARICOM heads, to set up a plan to addressing the issue of our food import bill and food security, and very importantly, as the Prime Minister Antigua and Barbuda indicated, protecting our health. You know, CNCDs, the rate of CNCDs in the CARICOM region is at an alarming rate. The impact on our economy because of CNCDs is huge, and I always say to my people in Dominica that COVID is not our main threat. You know, CNCDs is, and a lot of the causes of CNCDs come from our own practices, so what we eat, and a lack of exercise and wellness.
So far, 54 shade houses have been constructed, and it is understood that they are planning to construct 100 in total. Additionally, the plan is to extend to 300 shade houses countrywide. When it comes to the growing substrate used, it was explained that this consists of sugarcane and rice paddy byproducts. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
With the Caribbean community currently on the path of reducing its high food import bill by 25% by the year end 2025, Guyana's Vice President JAGDEO has stated that this would require intervention and heavy political lifting from the top level in each member state. More in this report.
Since we can have a greater supply response from the trade and a greater trade in the region and a cutting of the food expenditure, we need to tackle this as a priority, and this requires heavy lifting. So we can't leave here without that commitment. This process has to be driven right up from the top, and there would need heavy political intervention on the part of the heads of government. And so we need to have them here make that commitment, that they will either form a unit or within their offices, or from their offices, they will drive this process.
That was Vice President Dr. JAGDEO during a plenary session at the 3-day inaugural Agri Investment Forum and Expo being held in Guyana from May 19 to 21 under the theme Investing in Vision 25 by 2025. This initiative was created by President Dr. Irfan Ali, building on a plan that was previously presented by JAGDEO to CARICOM back in 2005, when he was president of Guyana. Dubbed the JAGDEO initiative, many of the regional leaders who are currently in Guyana have lauded the efforts of both Guyanese leaders to push the food security agenda in the Caribbean. But according to the Vice President, there needs to be a clear commitment by the various heads of state before they leave towards the implementation of this initiative that seeks to reduce the region's high food import bill and achieve food security. JAGDEO noted that in addition to that political commitment to the process, there also needs to be a champion of the agriculture sector in every member state to ensure that the agenda is pursued.
If we have the political commitment, what does each country have to do to ensure that we have a greater supply response nationally and regionally? This means that we have to have a champion in each country for these measures. And it means intervention from the presidents or the office of the prime ministers of the region. They have to, this cannot be driven simply by a Ministry of Agriculture, because there are so many cross-cutting issues that need to be addressed that cannot be addressed by the agricultural ministries alone.
JAGDEO's presentation was on addressing the key binding constraints to agriculture growth. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
A 50-year-old Region 1 farmer is now in police custody after she reportedly stabbed her husband to death during a drunken row. Dead is 43-year-old Felix Henry, called Oldie, a chainsaw operator of Port KAITUMA, Northwest District. Preliminary investigations revealed that the suspect and the victim had shared a 20-year abusive relationship, and reports are that at some time around 17 hours on Thursday, May 19th, the two people were at home alone imbibing when they had a misunderstanding. The woman told investigators that her husband had a cutlass and was chasing her around the yard. She then went back into the house and armed herself with a knife, which she used to stab him once to the neck. After the man collapsed in the kitchen area of the house, the suspect said she went into the bedroom and slept. The woman recalled waking up the following morning and finding her husband lying unconscious on the floor. According to the police, the woman's 28-year-old son went to the house at 6:30 hours on Friday and discovered Henry's body. He immediately reported the matter to the Port KAITUMA police station. Upon arriving at the scene, the police found the body in a sitting position with the apparent stab wound to the middle of his neck. The body was taken to the Port KAITUMA hospital and was formally pronounced dead on arrival. It is currently at the hospital's mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Meanwhile, the woman was taken into police custody on Friday morning and is assisting with investigation. She has since identified to detectives the weapon used to fatally injure her husband. Connectivity to major hinterland communities from Georgetown as well as between Guyana and Brazil will soon be made easier with the construction of the Linden-to-MABURA Hill Road. The US $190 million contract was signed on Friday with a Brazilian company for the construction of the 121-kilometer road. Details in this Lawana McAllister report.
With a 7.2-meter wide carriageway, the Linden-to-MABURA road will feature a cycle and pedestrian lane measuring 2 meters wide, along with 10 bus stops outfitted with ramps for persons with disabilities. Additionally, a number of bridges and culverts along the way will be replaced, and some 123 lights will be installed. Apart from the contract signing, a sod turning ceremony was also held on Friday at the Wizrock Junction in Linden, marking the starting point of the road construction process. Speaking at the ceremony on Friday, Public Works Minister Juan Edgell described the road as one of the most transformative projects in the country.
When we mapped out as a government and we looked at Guyana's development, there were certain things that we knew we must do. 1 We must be able to get a direct link from Linden into Lethem across the Takatu so that we could have access to northern Brazil, the markets, 20 million plus people, and eventually into all of South America because of the road connectivity that existed.
Meanwhile, Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, delivering the feature address at the ceremony, re-emphasized the Dr. Irfan Ali-led government's continued commitment to transform the economic and physical landscape of Guyana.
There are few projects that one can think of that would be as singularly transformative for our country as this project. It was a vision where we would make strategic investments to ensure, first and foremost, that the critical impediments to economic growth are removed. Our vision for Guyana is one where if you are a farmer producing produce in Linden, you must be able to load your produce up and drive it unimpeded to Lethem and beyond to sell it.
The U.S. $190 million project is being funded by the Caribbean Development Bank via a $112 million loan, a grant to the tune of $66 million from the United Kingdom under the Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund, and an input of $12 million from the Guyana government. British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jane Miller, spoke of the many benefits the road will bring to Guyanese.
So the Caribbean Development Bank, the Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund, is looking to find projects which are going to be economically transformative, but also those that promote climate resilience. And for this road, we all know this needs to be a climate resilient road, but with the objective of reducing poverty, but also having wider social benefits. So those were some of the criteria that we were looking for. And I believe that this road ticks all those boxes. It will be an economically transformative. You've just heard maybe for mining, for forestry, but also as a woman, to be able to get to the hospital when you're having a baby, to take your children to school, to be able to get jobs. So for so many ways, this road will be transformative.
This project is the first link of the highway between Linden and Lethem, and according to Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Dianat Indar, the PPC government is committed to finishing the second phase from Maburuba Hill to Lethem. Luanda McAllister reporting for the Evening News.
A series of implemented measures and real-time monitoring are expected to end the hours-long buildup of traffic at the Demerara Harbour Bridge. These measures now allow for free movement at any time of the day, including peak hours. Find out more in this Rupasinarine report.
Public Works Minister Juan Ejel explained on Friday that congestion and the time lost during peak hours at the Demerara Harbour Bridge needed to be addressed. Hence, collaboration was initiated with the Guyana Police Force to monitor the traffic situation in real time and take appropriate actions to alleviate build-ups.
We have been able to, in real time, judge the congestion and the buildup of traffic on both the east side and on the west side, and have been able to take prompt initiatives, or prompt action, I should say, to release that congestion and to allow for continuous flow. People are no longer waiting for hours to cross the Demerara Harbour Bridge in the mornings and in the afternoons, but the traffic is moving swiftly today. And that did not just happen because somebody woke up one morning and said it's changed. It was studied, a number of things were done until we found the best solution.
The minister emphasized that this was not an overnight change. The movement of vehicles and factors which led to traffic distress were studied, and a number of approaches were explored to find the best solution. Additionally, an emergency lane was introduced to allow for ambulances and other emergency vehicles regardless of the time or rush hour.
We have moved all of the vending, the congestion that used to take place in front here. The touting of hire car drivers, the illegal parking and selling. And as you look at it today, traffic is flowing, and that's the way it is day and night. We have already negotiated and received permission from the church to remove sections of the fence and the traffic control box. So rather than when you exit the bridge, heading east, you have to wait on a traffic light, there'll be a continual slip lane that you can keep turning left.
Meanwhile, the management of the Demerara Harbour Bridge has been charged with developing an application whereby the traffic congestion can be monitored in real time by commuters. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, regional and local companies looking to tap into opportunities from AGRI Investment Expo. Please stay tuned.
Supervet safety tips to help fight COVID-19. Practice regular washing of hands with soap and water or alcohol-based solution. Remember to always wear your mask whenever in public areas to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Clean and disinfect high-touch surfaces daily with soap and water or detergent. Practice physical distancing by staying at least 6 feet away from others. Supervet cares about you. Let's help keep each other safe.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rijnveld.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. The inaugural AGRI Investment Forum and Expo wrapped up today, and the scores of exhibitors who participated in the three-day event have dubbed it a great success, which paves the way for a plethora of opportunities. They are now looking forward to networking and growing their businesses. Luana McAllister was at the Expo site at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, along with her cameraman Paul Vanville, and filed this report.
Guyana's inaugural Agri Investment Forum and Expo was officially launched on Thursday, attracting regional leaders as well as hundreds of local and international exhibitors and investors. We're here where the three-day exhibition is being held. Come along with me as we seize the opportunity to speak with some of the exhibitors.
Export Barbados is the lead agency with responsibility for everything to do with exports in Barbados, and we're leading the delegation, and we have 5 of the most exceptional businesses within our agricultural sector here on show. We have 60-acre farm and land, we have O's Farms, we have Procare Supplies, we have Red Diamond Compost, and C.O. Williams, which is a very established entity within the Caribbean. And these businesses are extremely important for the development of agriculture in the Caribbean. We are here in Guyana since the 18th of May. Obviously the Expo started on the 19th of May, but the relationship between Barbados and Guyana started with our Prime Minister and your President. Prime Minister Motley and her vision to expand regional integration and build that relationship with Guyana and have Guyana and Barbados relationship. So they have the St. Barnabas Accord, which is the basis for the development of the relationship between Barbados and Guyana. So that's the start. So that has to trickle down to every sector within our society, whether it's from the Guyana level or from the Barbados level. So that's very important and that's the basis. So we see as of utmost importance to work with the Guyana market and the Guyana mission and the Guyana government to expand those relations. Next month we're launching the food terminal in Barbados, where there will be trading food from Barbados. We're going to use Barbados as a hub for the entire Eastern Caribbean. If the Caribbean is to be successful, the Caribbean must work together. So just as Barbados and Guyana has created that relationship through the St. Barnabas Accord, the entire Caribbean must follow to suit and work together in order that we all benefit within each and every sector within the Caribbean.
Here at GT Wine, we make fruit wine. The business started from the wastage of pineapple that my uncle came home and observed that his father used to plant. And he said we can make wine from this thing. So he used pineapple and he made wine, and then he started giving it out to friends and family. It's like, hey, this thing is really good. So today we have a whole host of wine from that initiative, and he just started this thing off as a hobby. So when I completed my studies at university, my uncle introduced me to this wine business. And today we have over 20 different flavors of fruit wine, but our major seller is our Strokers brand. That's made with a whole host of exotic barks and berries, and it's our #1 seller. This expo has been really good to us. All of the Strokers is out of stock. The men rush it because of what it does for their body. But besides the Strokers, families like the red wine. We make wine with passion fruit. You understand? We have wine with golden apple and other exotic fruits that are in here. So, and they appreciate our packaging too.
Our company offers their Guyanese people quality, affordable condiments and sauces in a wide range. We have pepper sauce, green seasoning, stir fry. We also have the non-traditional sauces, for example, soy sauce, teriyaki sauce, the entire line.
So how long have you guys been in existence, and how is this, expo is going to contribute to your business growth, giving you more exposure?
Of course. We have been in business for the last 8 years, and with all exhibitions, it's always good to interact with our customers. We find new customers as well in terms of not all persons know about our company. Exhibitions are always a good way in order to showcase and interact with persons.
We represent a group of agricultural companies, the fisheries, the animal farming, and agriculture in general. So we are not here for only one company. The reason why you are not seeing a lot of products here is that we had some conflicts with the flight that connected us. So some of our products got rotten, some got delayed and stuff. But as we are here, we are planning to build a Ghanaian presence here in the Caribbean. It is our first time in Guyana, but I have been living in South America for the past 7 years. So my bosses in Ghana saw it wise to have a Ghana presence here in Guyana. Most of the food you find on our table can be found in the Guyanese market. The only difference is how they prepare it. For example, cassava and plantain has its preparation. We have one that is prepared specially with soup called fufu. It is the #1 food in Ghana. So I think our experience here in Guyana has given us the hope. We listen to the various prime ministers, and we see that we share the same with the Caribbean. We've been trying to penetrate the Caribbean for a long time, but protocols don't allow us. It's only Guyana which has made it easier for us to feel at home. That is why we're starting with Guyana.
As you've seen, the exhibitors are quite excited to be a part of this initiative. Reporting from the Orchachong Conference Center, I am Lawani McAllister.
With several leaders across the Caribbean converging in Guyana to advance a common food security agenda, one of the main hindrances highlighted is connectivity and transportation of goods from countries within the region. But Prime Minister Mia Mottley believes that the Guyana-Barbados Food Terminal could play a crucial role in moving produce across the Caribbean. Amar Prasad tells us more.
Prime Minister of Barbados Mia Mottley expressed these sentiments on Friday during a press conference on the sidelines of the inaugural AGRI Investment Forum and EXPO being held at the Orchachong Conference Center, Greater Georgetown. She placed the spotlight on the region's food transport issues and removal of barriers to trade in agriculture, noting that the latter will be given priority at the upcoming CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. According to the Barbadian leader, Guyana, Suriname, and Belize, as countries on the mainland and with their vastness, have tremendous potential to help produce at a scale unlike small islands. Against this backdrop, Pia Mottley said that the imminent Guyana-Barbados Food Terminal will allow for the movement of food from whichever countries are doing mass production.
So we got to perfect the logistics, and we believe that that investment in a Guyana-Barbados Food Terminal will be critical. We have the plans and the numbers that we're working on. I am to convene a meeting, for example, week after next, not just on that project, but on all of the projects with the financial institutions to make sure that we can have ready and affordable access to capital to be able to help, whether it is state entities or private sector individuals, be able to expand production and to be able to undertake the logistics.
The Barbadian Prime Minister further revealed that the Caribbean Development Bank, along with other countries, have agreed to take the lead in transport arrangements to finally see how this issue can be resolved, especially for the movement of produce. Meanwhile, she emphasized that the trade barriers have been very significant.
There are too many stories of containers of produce being left on ports to spoil. And it's happened in too many countries, or restrictions because of all kinds of failure to comply with sanitary and phytosanitary conditions. And we've said, look, we need to be very practical now. We can't move produce from country to country if people are going to lose their investment. We therefore hope that at the next Heads of Government meeting, which is in about 2 months' time, between now and then immediately after, possibly in Dominica, that we can go and sit down without all of the fanfare, without all of the frills, and just attack the top barriers in the same way that President Ali has done for us, a clear framework to take the top 10 items that we want to be able to have total capacity to produce within the region without importing.
The salt-turning ceremony for the new Guyana-Barbados Food Terminal is slated for next week in Bridgetown. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Meanwhile, FAO Assistant Director General and Regional Representative for Latin America and the Caribbean, Dr. Julio Berdig, has lauded Guyana's drive in transforming the agri-food system. He notes that it is unmatched when compared to other countries in the region. More in this Rupasina Ryan report.
These remarks came on the heel of an agreement signing by Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd for the Memorandum of Responsibilities between Guyana and the FAO for the hosting of the 38th Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean in 2024. The FAO official said this was brought about after 33 countries in the Caribbean and the Americas threw support behind Guyana as the host country.
Let me emphasize that in 2024, we will be celebrating or commemorating 20 years of the launching of the JAGDEO initiative. It's been 20 years since Guyana has been leading efforts for food security and revitalization of agriculture in this part of the world. This meeting that we're having here confirms that Guyana is the place to be today. No other country in the Americas is conducting a transformation of its agri-food systems to the extent, with the dynamism, with the level of political support that I have seen here in Guyana.
Meanwhile, Minister Todd relayed that such efforts feed directly into the development trajectory envisioned by the Ali-led administration, putting agriculture as the central pillar for driving the economy.
We are about diversification. We are at a very good position in terms of our resource base with the oil and gas revenues to really make massive gains in terms of our diversification process. And we have to do that by being fully integrated within the global economy. So working with the FAO as a multilateral agency shows that we're connected fully. So our national policies are aligned with our regional objectives, which are also aligned with the multilateral policy making at the global level, which shows that we understand the way the world works. We know the initiatives that we need to embrace, and this level of partnership will take us to the next level in terms of our own advancement.
The country program framework for the period 2022 to 2026 was also signed with Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa. The FAO Assistant Director General said this signing cements the cooperation with Guyana in the coming years. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Second in command of the Immigration Department, Deputy Superintendent LINDEN-Smith, is urging persons to use the regional passport offices to avoid an overflow of persons at the Central Passport Office in Georgetown. Here is Shane Marks with this story.
During a recent Police and Youth program, Deputy Immigration Officer LINDEN-Smith called on citizens to utilize the various regional passport offices that were established in some regions across the country for their convenience. Deputy Superintendent Smith said that the passport office in Georgetown was met with an influx of persons seeking to apply or requesting the renewal of a passport for a period of time.
During the heightened COVID period, we tried our best to maintain social distancing within the office, but we still try to assist the public in any way that we could have. So it may take you 10 to 15 minutes within the office. But at that time, when we had that extra long line and larger crowds, was at a time when 5 years ago, we had a peak of persons coming for passports. And that same set of persons came back within this year. So that's why we had that larger crowd within that period.
Smith shared that persons feel safer traveling to the Georgetown office rather than utilizing the other offices.
Some persons feel safer and they think it's guaranteed that they will get a passport if you come to Georgetown. But it's guaranteed that you can get your passport if you apply in Berbice, Linden, or on Regina.
To this end, she urged persons to use their respected regional offices to apply for their passports, even those who are seeking passport renewal, to aid in a smooth application process at the Georgetown main office. Shane Marks, The Evening News.
We will now take a look at the bridge reports.
Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, May 22 at 23 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled for retraction on Sunday, May 22 at 9 hours 35 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Shabazz calls for support of Golden Jags as team departs today. This and more coming up in the Sportscast, sponsored by Maccorp.
Miners, welders, and contractors. Have broken parts caused you tremendous downtime? Do you need an extra heavy-duty, dependable welding machine that will get the toughest jobs done and can also double as a generator to power all of your tools? Well, your #1 industrial solutions provider Sylvie's has you covered. We currently have in stock the Hobart Champion Elite Arc Welder and Generator. This capable electric start generator produces up to 11,000 watts of AC power to run tools, work lights, or backup power during an outage. It can simultaneously deliver 150 amps weld output and 8,000 watts of generator power and can run up to 14 hours on one 12-gallon tank of gas. This portable generator handles mild steel, stainless steel, and cast iron iron with a maximum thickness of ½ inch in a single pass. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets Georgetown location, we can deliver. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.